once again to our community of leaders. We are excited to share another episode with you. This is From Leadership to Legacy, where we believe everyone has been given the responsibility and the potential to lead and to leave a legacy. And I'm Marcus Pierre, and I'm here with Antwan Butler. And Antwan, I'm excited about what we've been discussing with the community of character and character development. It has truly been a blessing to me. And I think, last episode we talked about the importance of writing your values down, and I hope that you guys did your homework. I hope you guys wrote your values down, and you're able to go back and look at it. But today I want to kind of talk about something, Antwan, that a lot of times maybe we don't look at it or we don't even think about it. But as you're a purpose-driven person. You're very consistent. You have different things going on, but you're able to manage things. You're able to get things done.
Right.
What are some things you do in private that ensures that you actually do what you need to do in public? What are some things that you do?
That's so funny you asked me that. I just got a call. This is Saturday. I got a call Thursday. A young lady asked me the same question. She said, I see the stuff that you do. She said, I want to know how you get it done. And without going into the details for the sake of time, I do it off the backdrop of this one thing that I learned 15 years ago, and it's to prioritize the precious minutes of the day. Everything for me is a priority, and inside of that priority is always relationships first. So my day is consistent of prioritizing relationships, the ones that are significant to me, the ones that I have a direct influence over, and the ones that influence my life. So I don't ever have a day, man, that I'm not prioritizing my minutes, because in my mind, my lifetime is my past, my present, and my future. But my life is the 24 hours that I have. So I get up really thinking I have 24 hours to do everything that I was purposed and born to do. Like, so how am I going to make that happen? So from my perspective, no minute is unplanned, man, even if it's rest or relaxation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you go into your day with a plan.
Yeah. Actually, in my night, thinking about my day.
Wow.
Plan.
And I've read that, and I've heard like really successful people, they do that. They take the end of their day to plan the next day. And when we're talking about character development, I think it's important that we plan how we're going to make sure that we display good character.
Right.
Because we talked about character is not good intentions,
right,
but it's good decisions. And I think that the planning aspect of it helps you to make sure you're making those good decisions. And for me, Antwan, what I look at what we do in private, make sure that we're the best that we can be in public. And for me, I kind of do a little different from what you do, but I also have things that I know that I need to do. It's not something that I think I ought to do, or maybe this sounds good, but there's several things that I need to do. I need to spend time with God. I need to spend time in prayer. I need to do those things, because I know that out of that, I'm able to make the right decision.
Right.
Not just a good decision, but the right decision. Because as leaders, we're not supposed to be influenced by the environment.
Right.
But we're supposed to influence the environment. So for me, in private, that's where I prepare myself to be a game changer in public.
Right. I like that.
And I think, that's something that most people pop up and get running. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate to feel like I'm rushing. I would rather get up extra early to make sure I can kind of take my time, do what I need to do, because when I pop up and I'm running, I'm trying to get things done.
Right.
It's, for me, I feel like I'm frustrated or just like I'm uneasy. But if I can get up and do that in enough time, I think I'm sharp.
Preparation.
Yeah. And I think for good character, I think a lot of times people think that good character is something that you impulsively do.
Right.
You can't do that impulsively. Good character is something that you intentionally prepare for. And one of the things I wanted to ask you also about is mentorship. And most people familiar with mentorship, but I like to define mentorship as...
Y'all want to write this down. Write this down.
The process that accelerates and ensure that you get to your desired destination. And let me explain it. When you mentor, or you're being mentored by a person, you connect with a person that has already reached a destination.
Right.
So you can learn from their experience. So it's not trial or error. So in essence, that accelerates your progress.
Right.
But then also, being that they're already there, they can easily pull you or direct you to that particular destination. So it ensures that you're equipped. So with mentorship, I think as leaders, it is valuable, it is essential that we have mentors.
Yeah.
Yes, you have a mentor, someone that has arrived at where you want to get to, whether it be financial, whether it be relationally, whether it be in business. Let that person mentor you, and it takes humility.
Right.
But it accelerates and it ensures you get there.
Right. I love that, and I just think, and you and I were talking earlier about microwave generation and people want things immediately and instantly. And I think there's a difference between what you're saying. You're talking about shortening the curve, collapsing those time frames on where we're going, but not taking shortcuts to success, but using somebody else's experiences, their heartaches, and the things that they've experienced so that you can learn faster.
Absolutely.
But you're not saying that we're not learning. We're just learning at an accelerated pace.
Exactly, because you have to learn that.
You got to.
Because if you don't learn that, then later on, when that pressure's on you, you won't have that skill. You won't have that knowledge. You won't be able to display good character in that position. So, no, we're not saying that you're skipping things. But you don't have to take, and I thought about this, like even with reading books. If it takes an author 40 years to write a book, you read that book in 1 month. You've gained 40 years of knowledge within a month.
Come on.
Because you're gaining the wisdom of another person. So with mentorship, you have somebody that you can dialogue with, ask those tough questions, be transparent. Hey, this is an area of my life that's an undeveloped strength. I don't like the word weakness. Undeveloped strength. So that's something that you can do, but think about how valuable that is, and that accelerates your progress. You don't have to take 40 years to learn what they learn. Sit down and have a conversation with a person.
Well, I love what you said, and I was talking about earlier how I plan my day. And when I'm planning my day, it's not just activities for my day. The biggest part of my planning process, Marcus, is my plan to become. I have things in my day because I see myself being this person. So my plan is, my activity has to be around becoming that guy. So if I'm a guy, if I'm that person, if I'm working on, we were talking about today in our workshop, being an effective listener. Like, I want to be an effective listener. So in my day, I may have a book, I may have a podcast, or I may have an upcoming conversation I'm getting ready to have where I'm going to intentionally practice. Having a mentor gives you specific things to model, because you see in that person, man, that guy's patient, that guy's on time. I can add that to my plan to say, well, what is it about it? We saw that with Jesus and the disciples. Man, this guy keeps doing these miracles. He's healing people, raising people from the dead. How is he doing it? Oh, we track it back to his prayer life. Jesus. So we notice every time you do this miracle, before you do it, you pray. How do you do that? Well, this is how you do it. You add that then into your daily calendar. So I love the mentorship because you don't have to guess. You can say, this is how I got here. Well, let me add that to my day. So
I like what you said, and for you guys, what he said a lot in that statement of what he was saying, because what Antwan, and this is what I heard you say, is that when you have a mentor, you ask them what did they do.
You can get straight to the question
to get to where they are. No sense of going around. Okay, you're at.
That's why they're your mentor.
You're at this destination. What did you do? And some people, okay, well, it was just a miracle of God, and yes, God does operate in miracles, but there were things that they actually did, things that they positioned themselves. And if you model that, if you practice that, you're going to accelerate the process, but you also can ensure that you have what it takes to get to the destination. Notice I say you have what it takes, but you still got to make the decision.
You still got to make the decision.
You still have to be the one who implements that, to be consistent to your convictions, because that's character. And that's where your accountability partner come in. Get that person. The person is mentoring you. Hey, check in on me. Make sure I'm doing those things. Because if, like you said, Jesus, the miracles was happening, they realized it was birthed through prayer. It was birthed through him spending time with the Father. What does that do for us? we need to model that.
Right.
And that's why I say, you know, my thing is I have to spend time with God.
Right.
You know, it's a must, and I enjoy it. I value it because
Right.
I know what comes out of it.
Right.
Because I can only give out what I have put in.
Right.
And then at that time, and that prayer time, and that study time, and
Right.
spending time with God, I'm able to be my best self.
Right.
I'm not swayed by the emotions of everyone and people that I'm around. I'm supposed to be leading them.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
I cannot be easily swayed by the people that I'm supposed to be leading.
Right.
Because I would lead them based off of their emotions.
Right.
And that's not good leadership.
Right. Right. I love that, and I was thinking about what you said about character and the definition you told me earlier. One of the things I love about a mentor and why you need one, and why I'm glad you're encouraging us to get one. A mentor is an embodiment of what you've lived out on the canvas of your imagination. In other words, like you've seen where you want to go and what you want to be, but you don't have any physical representation of it. A mentor is that. That keeps you encouraged. Like, man, okay, I keep seeing this, but like, really, what does that look like? Oh man, that looks like her. That looks like him, and that keeps you encouraged. But at the same time, for the mentor, it makes sure that you are that you're being held accountable too, because somebody's looking at your life. So,
and that for leadership, we talked about last episode, when there's poor character or a flaw in character,
Right.
innocent people suffer.
yes,
So people that are actually being mentored by you, your leadership doesn't turn off 24 hours a day.
right,
You're always teaching what to do, how to handle this,
Right.
because they're looking up to you. They're valuing because you're at a place.
right,
And that's what I think mentorship. And if you don't have a mentor, I encourage you, be prayerful, find a person.
and that's what I want to ask. We got a couple
Yeah.
minutes, Pastor,
Okay.
to help us find a mentor. What we
Okay.
need to be looking for.
It starts with the goal. It starts with the end in mind. What do you want to exemplify? What do you want to be able to do? And you find that person that has fruit on the tree. You find that person that has put in the time, has sown
Fruit on
the
the tree.
seeds,
Yeah.
and have a harvest.
Yeah.
They don't only talk about it, but you can see the manifestation of it, and lock arms with them and say, hey, what did you do? I see that you're a family man. I see that you're operating. I see that you're a businesswoman. I see that you have multiple streams of income. What did you do? Find out, ask those questions, and then, hey, put those things into play.
Right.
But you have to know what you want, because everybody can't mentor you.
Man, say that again.
That's
You gotta know what
that's
you
the
want.
thing. You know, your pastor can be, you know, a wonderful pastor, preach a wonderful word, but what you're looking for, he might not be able to mentor you in that area.
Right.
Yeah, and I believe you could have multiple mentors.
Absolutely.
You have a
It's
mentor for
biblical.
your finances. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a mentor for your marriage. You have
Right.
a mentor for your health.
Right.
But have somebody, a coach, a person that is able to accelerate your process of getting where you want to go. Let's face it. If not, you're wasting time.
Absolutely. Beautiful. I know we got to come back and talk about mentorship.
Yeah. I believe it's needed because some people, that's their purpose.
Yeah.
Some people, you know, God has called them to be a mentor, you know, to young children and young boys and young girls. So I believe it's a skill
Yeah.
to be a mentor, but it's just important that as leaders you have that mentor. And Antwan, I'm going to let you close us out on today and share something with the people maybe about what they need to do, or regarding mentorship and things of that nature. If you want to share a little bit more about how you do things, but close us out on today.
Well, certainly thank you all for listening, and I want to say this as we're having a conversation. The beauty about being in a position of leadership is that you're not on an island. And I said this, I think, during the second show. We were created, even in the community of leadership, and whether we're talking about a community of believers, we were created to be interdependent. There's only certain places that you're going to get in life without having another person influence your life. We only can go so far. Y'all know the old adage, the old saying, no man is an island. There's no I in team. Listen, having somebody else, the right person, and Marcus told us that having the right person involved in your life, influencing you in the right direction, is a lot of times the difference between failure and success.
Oh my.
It's the difference between your destiny and your demise. Sometimes you don't know that you need it until another person has walked into your life and said something, and you're like, I had no idea that was an issue. I had no idea that was a strength. Thank you for bringing it out. So Don't get caught up in the web of isolation or thinking that you know it all, or being pushed by the cultural nuance that if you seek out help, you're weak. That's actually an attribute to be able to mentor and be mentored. Paul talked about the importance of that. So I wanted to encourage each one of you, go back and watch the replay. Marcus gave us some good nuggets on how to find a mentor. We'll talk more about it next time we meet with you guys. But listen, we want to thank y'all for watching. We really believe that we are developing young leaders, young minds to move from leadership to legacy. We appreciate this community. We want to ask that y'all subscribe and share. Our community is growing. We appreciate the remarks, the comments that we're getting. Some people think that we're a school. Y'all keep prophesying, but we just want to continue to do what God has created us to do. So thank y'all so much for listening. Until next time, y'all be blessed.